Okay, I don't know if you run into this problem before, but I wanted to make this video because I ran into this problem with my A41. This is a buck, right? Buck, made in the U.S., right? They're not cheap. They're probably retail between 200 and 300 bucks. A41, as you can see here. This is a 41, and this is S30V, right? But the problem with buck is that it's very sensitive to corrosion, right? That's what I noticed, and you can see on the box online they always had rust on the blades and they always had rust on the components. So I didn't think it would happen to me, but unfortunately I woke up and I started to see rust around the pivot point on the blade. Really hard to see, you have to look for it. But when you deploy the knife, you can actually see kind of like dirt, like grime that is around here. And I know that that wasn't dirt because this is my everyday carry. I love this knife. I love the carbon fiber. I think the Buck did a phenomenal job with the 800 series. But unfortunately, this problem with the corrosion and with the rust is something you can't really avoid. So unfortunately, what you need to do in order to fix this is to take the knife apart at least once a year and clean it up. What is the problem? The problem is the liner. The problem is the steel on the liner is so cheap. They didn't do a good job with the metal on the liner, so it starts to rust out around the rim, and then that rust, like a cancer, just spreads all over the place. The steel on the pivot point is also another problem. I wish that they would make hardware that we can actually buy aftermarket for Buck that is titanium base, titanium made. It will make this knife indestructible, and in my opinion, I think it will be a phenomenal investment, especially when you blow $200-300 on the knives. They should give you the option to have titanium components, at least be able to buy them aftermarket. So what you have to do is you have to get a Dremel, right? I have two different kind of heads on the Dremel that are non-abrasive. One is cotton for polishing, but the first one that I used on the Dremel was this one. It's very soft, kind of spongy, and what it does, with a very low setting, I have it on 2, with a really low setting, what you do is you start cleaning, and I'll show you the parts that you'll have to clean up. When you take it apart, there's going to be rust around the rim here, around the pivot point on the liner. Both sides you need to clean up real good with the buffing wheel. Then the carbon fiber, be very careful with the carbon fiber, very easy to scratch. I didn't do the outside for obvious reason. What I did is I used a tiny brush in order to be able to clean it up. On the inside, I was able to use the non-abrasive wheel from the Dremel, and I clean up the inside. You do it to both scales for the carbon fiber. Again, don't attempt to do the outside of the scale. You're going to scratch it or crack it. The second liner that we have is this one. Also, you can see all the shadows, right? That's what rust used to be. So I'm going to lubricate this. I'll show you what I use. This is for cleaning guns. It's great for knives, cleanse oil. I'm not getting any advertisement for this, so this is what I use at home. This is phenomenal. It has a smell, but that tells you that it's good. And as soon as I take it apart, I always use KPL, the knife shield. I saw this on another video from another YouTuber, and it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal, and to clean and to remove any kind of stuff you have on there. You can use it on the blade, you can use it on the components. I typically soak it on for a few minutes, and then I let it, I clean it up with a sham. So the next thing that you are going to clean, right? The next thing that you are going to clean is, don't try to, the ceramic ball bearings, don't try to clean them up. You can clean them up by hand, but don't try to buff them off, because this, as it's cleaning, is actually dissolving and it's actually losing the material. So what you will do is you will end up leaving material right on the balls for the bearing. Very important, take extra time and hold it real well and clean the pivot point. Okay, this pivot point, it was completely covered in rust. As you can see, I took my time, and that's 360. There's a little shadow here, but that I can do anything about that. The steel is clean. And then the pivot screw. Your pivot screw is something that you also need to take your time to clean the thread, because whatever there's rust, the rust will come back. So before I lubricate and I put this back together again, it's super important that you do it. There was rust around the pivot hole on the blade that I just finished cleaning, and I polished very so slightly, right? I didn't polish the blade. This is it has a special coating on it, so I don't want to take the coating off. But I was starting to see dots, right? So this is why the knife shield is great for cleaning the blade. Try to do that at least once a month, and then oil and lubricate. The cleanse oil will allow the blade to be preserved and not to get any rust on it. So it's great for protection. So I'm going to oil all this. I didn't want to do this with the Dremel on the video because this is extremely loud, and I hate when people do this on camera and they don't mute the mic. So you actually hear all the noise on the video. I'm going to put it together, and there will be a second part to this. Thank you. Okay, here we go with the second part. All right, so I oil and clean everything, right? And basically we just gotta put it back together. So pivot point, the pivot goes through there. Put in the liner, put in the washer. Okay, everything has been oiled. I like to put in a couple of drops of cleansed oil on it. The blade has been cleaned and oiled. Put a little bit more around the rim, as you can see, just a little drop. Okay, this is back. I already cleaned the ceramic bearings. I already cleaned them, polish them, oil it, put it back in. And a trick on the back spacer, right, is that I attach two of the screws first, right? That way aligning with this side is more of a breeze. Otherwise, trying to align the back spacer when you put the two scales together is a pain in the ass. So with that, everything is nice and positioned, and then you can go ahead and close it up. Liner lock. There we go. Okay, there we go. Folds nicely. Kind of like need two hands for this. So I'm gonna put in the pivot screw. Going to oil it again. Just lubricate the hell out of it. I really wish that they would have this in titanium. And I'm going to just tighten it very so slightly just to align the components. No super tight, just in place. I want to make sure that I take my time to align this. And now on the back, as you can see, because we already had the back spacer in place, taking the tiny screws and dropping them is more of a breeze. The pivot, for the pivot, you need a T10. These ones are T6, so you have 4 of those, and the pivot screw is a T10, as you can see here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. T10. So there we go. Don't over tight the carbon fiber. This is not G10. This cracks very easily, and they're very expensive scales. So if you already crack one, you know what I mean. So beautiful knife, absolutely beautiful. I think the Buck did an excellent job on the 800 series. I need to clean it and re-clean the blade and get rid of all the oil on the carbon fiber, but I'm going to now, the blade still a little wobbly, so I'm going to retighten it, but I wanted to show you. So the end product is a blade that is now protected, right? Remember to use the KPL knife shield at least once a month. Clean the blade, and just let it stand. Don't clean it off right away. And then you can use KPL oil. I use cleanse oil. I like the smell, and I like how it lubricates. This is amazing. And this is for guns, so this, you know, then this is good stuff. Absolutely love my A41 carbon fiber. This is a $260 to $300 Buck made in the US. If you love your knives and if you love American made, you can't go wrong with this. Just watch this video and watch out for rust around the pivot point and on the blade. Keep it lubricated. It will last you a lifetime if you take care of it. And also, if you need to resharpen, just go ahead and do it. Take care of your knife. It will last you a really long time. Thank you for watching.